There is millions in external funding available for charities, CICs, schools, and local councils, but finding the exact grant that fits your specific project often feels impossible. All the data is scattered across hundreds of disjointed trust portals, confusing government websites, and obscure foundation guidelines. Navigating that maze turns the search for funding into an unbillable full-time job, usually for teams that are already stretched far too thin. If you run a smaller grassroots organization, you are wearing multiple hats. You lack the visibility to know exactly where to look, and as a result, you miss crucial application deadlines. Meanwhile, medium-sized organizations waste valuable resources reading through broad, generic lists of grants that rarely align with their specific capital projects. Winning a grant is a problem of timing and intelligence gathering, not a simple test of bid writing ability. Every hour spent clicking through search engines is an hour pulled away from delivering actual services to your community. When you rely on last-minute, reactive searching, you end up rushing. You adopt a spray-and-pray approach, sending out generic applications to any funder with an open window. That chaotic approach predictably leads to low win rates. You put in the effort, get rejected, and your project managers burn out from the frustration. Free grant databases cost community organizations their most valuable and limited resource, time. Admin and More acts as your dedicated external intelligence team, taking on the heavy lifting of researching and filtering grants for you. Instead of scrambling right before a deadline, you transition to proactive, calendar-based planning. Having clean, clearly structured data is the prerequisite to writing a winning bid and actually driving impact in your community. We offer two distinct paths to get that data, starting with the Essential Funding Intelligence Report. Every Monday, this report delivers 10 small, 10 medium, and 10 large grants to your inbox. It highlights actionable quick wins and hidden gems you might otherwise overlook. However, your team still needs to review this list to find specific matches for your projects. The Essential tier gives you a low-risk foundation to maintain broad market awareness without spending hours on Google. If you need a more targeted approach, we offer the Premier Funding Report. Unlike the broad Essential list, the Premier Report is completely custom-built for your organization. We map opportunities precisely to your specific mission, local geography, and unique beneficiaries. This drastically reduces internal triage time, providing strategic recommendations that increase your probability of a successful bid. It requires a slightly higher monthly investment, but it completely removes the burden of internal filtering from your staff. The Premier Report is an investment in strategic alignment. It ensures that every hour you spend writing an application is dedicated to a high probability match. Using either of these structured reports upgrades how your organization operates. You stop living grant to grant. Instead, you build a predictable 12-month funding pipeline. That predictability allows you to look ahead, forecast your resources accurately, and understand exactly what your team has the capacity to deliver this year. Moving away from a chaotic, reactive process toward disciplined, long-term strategic planning is the true return on investment. To choose the right tier, you need to assess your current budget constraints and your upcoming project goals. If your organization is smaller, operating on a tight budget, and primarily needs broad local awareness to catch opportunities you might otherwise miss, then the Essential Report is your required baseline tool. On the other hand, if you are planning a specific capital project or scaling a service, and you require highly targeted, high-probability matches, then the Premier Report provides the strategic roadmap you need. By matching the right service tier to your operational reality, you're buying back your team's capacity to actually help the community. Admin and More actively builds your long-term, sustainable funding capacity instead of handing over a disorganized list of web links. Whether you're looking to stay informed with our Essential Funding Report or need tailored funding research through our Premier Funding Report, Admin and More is here to help you identify the right opportunities and build a stronger future through funding.